if they are detected, Mike's already sent the testing kits in, if they're detected, then you're just put into a slot system and Ram pays it out, kind of where you fall in the slot. That's what. So, they sent it to me, I sent it to the mayor, we thought it'd be best to send it to the city council, and it costs us anything, but the benefit is certainly there, if PFAs are counted in Washington.
And I didn't want to sign without, y'all need to authorize me to sign, so that's why I wanted you to be aware of what you were telling me I could do.
So he did, like, these were
any effort on their part, they're not gonna do it. But you would still be giving them the service there, if you want, if you really want your yard cleaned up, you know.
Maybe we should just limit it.
We started this years ago, back,
Just to the
as you remember,
grass.
yeah, it was, city cleanup, that meant stuff in their yard that they, you know, and we weren't picking it up then either. But then the little old ladies would call and we feel sorry for them, you know, we'd go get it for them, because they didn't have any way to get it for them. When you did it for her, why aren't you doing it for, you need to do it for me, you know, and here we go.
And then everybody saying the city would go by and pick it up, so why do I need to take it up there?
And
Come get it.
it's turned into a mess.
Like the dumpsters that we took in, same thing.
Yeah, it's, people taking advantage of people. It happens a lot everywhere, I'm sure. You know.
So we can revise it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit
Just
it.
go back to yard clippings and.
Well,
leaves and what
we're gonna have to, before next year, we're gonna have to do this completely different, because that's ridiculous, $30,000.
Y'all saw
couches and chairs,
And that's what it was originally set up for, was stuff that people can't just throw away, you know, every day. To do couches, chairs, refrigerators, washer, dryers, one time a year. And now it's done turned into
But up to this
remodeling
year,
houses and everything else.
up to this year, it hadn't been abused so bad, but it was just really was. So we're gonna have to do it different, just like we did on the dumpsters. You don't want to, but it's, they force you to. Okay, now chief, I wonder where the chief is today.
I don't know, but here's the quotes and the air
Okay.
conditioner.
All right,
He did get 3 quotes.
okay, he has an air conditioner out at the, over at the police station, and, he's got a quote, we've got 3 quotes, we'll go from 8,600 from Stephen Hahn, 8,900 from C&J Services out of Benton, 7,400 from Bobby McLean. So we'll go with those, probably take the list of those 3 Monday night to replace the air conditioner. He has some personnel issues, I think he has some replacements. Do
He
you
got
know?
the resignation of Julian D. Lorenzo, and then he hired, Ladero Armstrong back.
Both.
So I know both of those.
And then this last item, he definitely needs to be here to explain it, because, he's wanting more money. He's wanting y'all to approve a bigger budget for him to pay out money to informants.
The drug informant fees.
Drug informant fees, they
we had-
used all the money for the year.
Yeah, we budgeted
dealers to give you information, basically is what's going on, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get a receipt from them?
You get a receipt from the police department, it's a form they fill out,